Hello, hello, my friends. I have a little bit of a Slatkin & Co. / HOMEWORX haul to share with you guys. Now, this is a little bit of a collective haul of products that I purchased, as well as some candles and other Slatkin & Co. products that were sent to me in PR. So if you like this video, please make sure you hit the thumbs up button. We're going to go ahead and dive into this. As always, all of the candles and products that I'm talking about today will be listed in the description box down below. I'll have timestamps. I do have an affiliate discount code with Slatkin & Co. It is KATIESJOYFULLIFE. It should save you 15% off orders over $40. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and start out with the products that I purchased, because I do know people feel a certain kind of way about PR, and that's fine. But I will show you guys the first 3 fragrances that I purchased with my own money, and then I will let you guys know when I'm talking about the stuff that was sent to me. However, you guys know I always keep it real with you. If you've watched any of my reviews, you guys know some fragrances that were sent to me in PR I give 2 thumbs up to. Other I say, they're okay. And sometimes I just say straight up, save your money. And yeah, it doesn't always mean that I'm going to love something. But I just have to say, I've already sniffed most of these, and I am going to say there's only one that I'm kind of like questionable about, but I have a feeling I'm going to like all of these. In fact, a couple of these I already know that I love. So let's go ahead and start out with the candles that I purchased from the website. The first one here is a fragrance that has been out, I want to say, the last 2 years, but I actually have never had this candle before. It is the fragrance Pumpkin Spice. Now, I do love me a good pumpkin spice fragrance. We have notes here of roasted pumpkin, cinnamon stick, ground nutmeg, and glazed sugar. Now, this has a pour date of April 19th, 2025. Oh, April 19th, that was my dad's birthday. Okay, so we've got this like orange wax. This is a very, this is a nice pumpkin fragrance. Is it anything out of the ordinary? No. It kind of reminds me a little bit of, you know, I was smelling this and I was like, I feel like I've had a fragrance like this from HOMEWORX. This smells very similar to Farm Stand Pumpkin. If you ever had that candle in the past. Again, I don't have one in my collection right now to do a side-by-side comparison, but it's kind of just a good pumpkin scent. It's not overly spiced to my nose. Like when you tell me like pumpkin spice, I think of like Yankees spiced pumpkin. This is definitely more of like an earthy pumpkin note with a little bit of spice in there. The cinnamon stick, the ground nutmeg. Yeah, I definitely get nutmeg in there. The cinnamon in here is not red hot cinnamon. It's like a soft cinnamon type of note. Very well done. And then what else did they say? Glazed sugar, slight amount of sweetness. But again, how they say a roasted pumpkin, I would definitely say that. This is a nice fragrance. I think that it's a very versatile fragrance. Ma'am, are you wanting to go outside? Did my cat Ruby make a cameo here in the background? She's right down here by my feet. I might have to pause just a moment to go let her outside, because otherwise she will be clawing at the door this entire video. All right, the cat has been let out. So let's go ahead and talk about the next candle that I purchased. Now, I believe I've had this candle in the past, or maybe I purchased it at one point in a duo from QVC. I cannot recall. I feel like I've had this one before, but I can't recall. And honestly, I need to check through and see if I've even done a dedicated review. My gut is telling me I haven't on this candle, but I've seen a couple of my other friends here on YouTube rave about this fragrance. And I thought, you know what, let's go ahead and give it a try. It is the fragrance Praline Pecan. Now we have fragrance notes here of pecan, creamy toffee, whipped vanilla, and almond butter. Now, I recently had a fragrance from, oh yeah, this is good. I recently had a fragrance from Caramel Sundays called Pecan Marshmallow that I have been loving burning with. I've been burning it in the mornings with Kringle's pumpkin waffles. If you want to create like your own little version of BBW pumpkin pecan waffles, there you go. But I'm almost done with that one. And I feel like a pecan fragrance blends so nicely, again, particularly with pumpkin scents. And all of my friends who have said this one is good, yeah, this is a great fragrance. This is really nice because you get the nuttiness of pecan in here. I really like the color of this wax too. It's really pretty. It's kind of like a, almost like a plummy brown type of color. But we have creamy toffee and almond butter. Yeah, there's something about this, and whipped vanilla. it's not just straight pecans. Like, it's a very nutty fragrance, and pecan is still like the dominant note, but there's a slight element of creaminess in there from the vanilla. And I do get some like kind of sweetness, like brown sweetness from like a toffee, maybe a little bit of almond. But this one's very, very nice. So if I have not done a dedicated review on this one yet, I will make sure to get that done for you. I'll do dedicated reviews on this one as well as the pumpkin spice. Okay, and then the other fragrance that I only have one right here in front of me, but I did actually purchase two of them because this was actually one of my surprise favorite fragrances that I purchased last year from Slatkin & Co. And then I remember it went on clearance and I thought like, oh, I'm going to get backups. And then of course, you know, I'm always trying to be like, no, you don't really need backups of it. Be mindful of your collection. And I just kept thinking, oh, I hope that they bring that back fragrance. I hope they bring that fragrance back because it was a good one. And so when it came back into stock, I was like, I'm going to get two of them because I know that I love this fragrance. Surprisingly, you guys, the fragrance I'm talking about is Pumpkin Cold Brew. I had this last year. Fragrance notes on it are sweet pumpkin, espresso, toffee, and vanilla cream. Now, there is something about this one that I'm just going to tell you. I think I have some type of scent memory with a fragrance like this, like when I was in high school or something like that. Like my mom must have had some type of fall candle that smelled somewhat like this. You get pumpkin, you get the espresso in here, but this is not a dominant coffee fragrance to me, to my nose. This is very like warm. It just screams like a good like late October, November morning. It's cozy. But you've again got some sweetness going on there. It's not just the pumpkin. It's you got the vanilla cream. You've got some toffee in there. It's just a very like warm and inviting fragrance. And like I said, I think that I have some type of scent memory with this from my teenage years. If you are new to my channel, I have talked about this, but if you're new to my channel, you may not know this. A lot of fragrances for me, I love fragrances that are very sentimental. My mom burned a lot of Yankee candles all throughout the 90s and the early 2000s. And for me, you guys, scent memories are a big deal for me. I have already lost both of my parents. And so a lot of fragrances just bring back happy memories for me. And so that's why this one, there's just something about it that I feel like my mom had a fragrance like this. Specifically, I smell this and I think of like my like junior year of high school or something. So weird. Also really weird when I just said that because I just think, gosh, now I'm at the age my oldest daughter is a junior in high school and I'm like, how did that happen? How did that happen so quickly? I don't know. So anyways, you guys, those are the 4 candles that I purchased. Like I said, 3 fragrances, but I did purchase 2 of the Pumpkin Cold Brew. Now I want to show you some of the products that Slatkin & Co. sent to me in PR. So I'm going to go ahead and start out with this. I'm just going to show you one, but these, they did send me their air fresheners for like the car, or you could probably possibly put this in like a gym bag or something like that. But they did send me the air fresheners. These do come in a 6-pack that they are available on the Slatkin & Co. site. I found that these have performed pretty much similarly to a lot of other air fragrance, you know, like car fresheners that you would put in. Usually I find that these get a good, like maybe like 10 days of performance out of them and then I switch them out. But yeah, they sent them to me. This is in the fragrance Harvest Leaves, which you guys know is one of my all-time favorite fall fragrances from the brand. So I was really thankful to them for sending this to me. However, what I'm going to do, because I'm going to show you another product, I will probably put this in my daughter's car. She drives a little small compact car, as well as my husband, his commuter vehicle. We put these in there. But the other item that they did send me is another reed diffuser. Now, I do have a reed diffuser right now. I think it's is it Witch's Brew or Witch's Cauldron? Something witch. There's a witch on it. And I had mentioned when I got that reed diffuser that the way that I typically use a lot of reed diffusers is that my personal vehicle that I drive most of the time is a large SUV. And so for me, I don't really like using reed diffusers in my home because I'm somebody that likes to change up my fragrance so often that I just prefer to burn various candles to achieve home fragrance. But what I have found these to be really beneficial for are I use these in my vehicle. Again, because it's a larger SUV, I put one of these in the cup holder. My kids are now beyond the stage where they're not climbing in and, you know, knocking things over and whatnot. And it's done very, very well in that. So I would say that if you're looking for maybe like a longer lasting way, maybe you have a larger vehicle as well, these reed diffusers work pretty well. This is in the fragrance Deep Dish Apple Pie, which I feel like I've had this fragrance before in a candle. Can't really go wrong with a good apple scent during this time of year. Fragrance notes are gooey apple nectar, vanilla, cinnamon, and pie crust. So as soon as the Witch's Brew one, which I actually I've had that in my car now, I want to say going on 2.5 weeks now. And I would say that the fragrance oil is about halfway dissipated right now. So you can probably get a good like 6 weeks, I would say, out of this. Now, what I do is I do make sure that I flip over the reed diffusers. Usually I do that once every like 2 or 3 days. I'll just flip it around. But yeah, it's been performing well for me. So I do always appreciate when they send me these, because then I just use it as an air freshener in my vehicle. And then we know that HOMEWORX has been getting into the body care game. In fact, they just recently started releasing these body scrubs, which they did send me the spiced vanilla pumpkin. I'm using that one right now. You guys, I want to give you guys an update on that. These scrubs are very, very nice. They're comparable to like the Tree Hut scrubs in terms of texture. Maybe they're not as gritty as like the Dove ones that you get at the drugstore, which is another exfoliator that I have used. I like these. I like these quite a bit. They're slightly thicker, I would say, than the Tree Hut. But if you like the exfoliating beads of the Tree Hut ones, then I think that you would really like these ones from HOMEWORX. So this is in the fragrance Caramel Apple. I do like their Caramel Apple fragrance. We have fragrance notes of red apple, caramel drizzle, vanilla bean, and cinnamon. So my daughter actually has already stolen the spiced vanilla pumpkin one from me. So I figure, well, at least I have another one to use. But they do leave your skin feeling really soft. So if you're somebody who likes body scrubs, I would actually say that these are very good. I do like them. I also have them in, they sent me like the iced sugar cookie and the frosted gingerbread. I think I gave the frosted gingerbread one to my mother-in-law because she was dealing with some rough skin. And I said, here, to use this, it might help exfoliate. And while we are talking about body care, kind of bouncing back and forth, I did purchase a duo of the hot cider donut hand soap. It is not here yet, but I did want to let you guys know that I did purchase that from QVC when they had a recent it wasn't like a TSV, but they did have it on sale like maybe 2 weeks ago. No, maybe not that long ago. I don't know. The weeks all seem to run together, especially during this time of year, doesn't it? Like it feels like once the kids go back to school, you blink and it's Christmas. Like that's what I'm going to be dealing with. But anyways, I did order those. So they did send me also 3 candles in PR, which I'm always thankful for. They did send me another 3-wick candle in one of these different types of, like, it's kind of like a bubble faceted glass here. This is the fragrance Harvest Donut, which I have actually had this fragrance a couple of years ago. Fresh pumpkin, donut accord, ginger, and clove. And this one has a pour date of May 20th, 2024. So I'm hoping that because this has been sitting a little over a year, maybe I will have a good, strong experience with it. My Spooky Vanilla actually did pretty well for me, being that it had been sitting for some time. So this smells pretty strong on cold. Now this, to me, this fragrance is, I think when I had this initially, this fragrance to me is definitely a cousin to Hot Cider Donut. Maybe there's not as much apple in here, but if you like that donut accord that you get, like say in the Hot Cider Donut, maybe you've had sugared beignets, or you've had funnel cake, or you've had any of those that are kind of in that family, I feel like Harvest Donut is a cousin. To me personally, sugared beignets and hot cider donut are like siblings, whereas this feels more like a cousin. There's a little bit of difference. I feel like this one has a little bit more of, like, it says fresh pumpkin. I get slightly more zest from this one. That might be the ginger note in here, but this definitely smells like a sweet, it says fresh pumpkin. This smells more like a sweet pumpkin to me. But anyways, I figured that this is a fragrance that it's definitely a versatile scent. Is it anything totally outside of, you know, is it earth shattering, groundbreaking? No, but it is a really nice fragrance. And I definitely see myself being able to pair this with a lot of other candles that are currently in my collection. And then here's another fragrance that I actually almost purchased, but then my contact said, hey, we're actually planning to send this to you in PR. So do you want to purchase something else? And I was like, oh, okay. This is the fragrance Pumpkin Gingerbread. Now, I do believe that this is a new fragrance this year. I don't think I've seen Pumpkin Gingerbread in the past from Slatkin & Co. Fragrance notes of pumpkin puree, harvest spice, ginger zest, and vanilla caramel. This has a pour date of April 11th, 2025. Okay, I like this one. You do definitely get ginger in this fragrance. There's pumpkin, there's a spicy like ginger note to this. If you are somebody who likes gingerbread fragrances, which I don't always love gingerbread fragrances, but I do tend to think that gingerbread fragrances with HOMEWORX are a safe bet for me because I historically have liked how they do gingerbread, and I'm still liking how they do it in this one. Yeah, you do get the ginger though. So if you're thinking like, oh, is it subtle? No, it's not subtle. It is right there. Ginger. What else am I getting? Pumpkin puree. Yeah, I mean, the pumpkin is not super strong. Get a little bit of spice. It's kind of like a, I mean this in the best way. It's kind of a basic pumpkin with some ginger in here. Would I think of this being a pumpkin gingerbread? Yes, I would. We'll see if there's more of that like bakery note that comes out when this is burning. But this one's really good. I like this a lot. This smells like one that you would want, like if you're a gourmand lover, you would like this one. But again, that ginger note, very dominant, very present. So although if you're somebody who avoids ginger, you're probably not exactly looking at a candle that says pumpkin gingerbread. And then the last candle that they sent me in PR, which honestly, you guys, this is one that I've been curious about, but I just have not had it in me to say like, yes, I want to purchase that. This is from kind of like that, what was it called last year? I think the collection was called like the Gather collection. It was basically a Thanksgiving themed collection. And this is the fragrance Homestyle Stuffing. Now, I love to eat me some stuffing on Thanksgiving. Can I just say something really quickly? I think I've said this before. Unpopular opinion. Who knows? Everybody seems to be. Well, I'll just leave that here. I hope I don't lose followers for saying this. I'll just say this. But unpopular opinion. I actually don't really love the Thanksgiving meal. Don't come for me. I don't love turkey. I don't really love a lot of the food that is served on Thanksgiving, but I do love me some good stuffing. So the fragrance notes are toasted bread, melted butter, chopped sage, and rosemary. Now this one also has a pour date of May 7th, 2024. So this one also might be pretty strong. This to me, you guys, this is actually, I'm going to say this is not a fragrance that I would have like picked up and purchased, but it smells pretty authentic. Like this definitely smells like when I have prepared stuffing, and it's like the homemade stuffing. It's not the kind that you've just poured out of the Mrs. Cubbison's box or whatever. I get sage, tiny hint of rosemary in here, but the herb that I pick up the most is sage in here. I get kind of a buttery accord, and yeah, and like a savory bread. I when they told me they were sending this to me, I was like, oh, okay, that's cute. Like, I probably won't burn that. I actually will probably burn this. I could see myself burning this on like Thanksgiving Day, or like when I'm preparing a meal, any kind of meal. Actually, I think that this will complement, even if like you have like a roast or something going, or if you're cooking any type of like, I would say maybe not a roast because sage doesn't always go with that, but sage goes really nicely with a lot of poultry. So like if you're cooking like chicken and dumplings, or like you're cooking like a chicken noodle soup or something, you could probably burn this at the same time just to kind of make your house smell a little bit better. But again, not a fragrance that I would have gone and purchased like out on my own, but I am glad that they sent it to me because I do feel like it smells very authentic to what it is claiming to be. So that is it in terms of my little haul for this week from, not this week, I would say maybe for this month, from Slatkin & Co. Again, a huge thank you to them for sending me these candles in PR. And I will go ahead and look through my register. I do know that I did do a dedicated review on pumpkin cold brew last year. So if you're curious, if you are a little bit more curious about that, you can go ahead and look through my candle review playlist. I do also have a more detailed down HOMEWORX candle review playlist that you can find the pumpkin cold brew candle in there. But yeah, it's I've already done a review on that one, but the other ones I can't remember if I did a review on Harvest Donut or not. So I don't know, you guys, whatever I haven't done a review on yet, I will make sure to give you some thoughts on probably within the next couple of weeks here on my channel. So I am hoping this weekend to get a candle chat up for you guys. I feel like it's been forever since I've sat down and discussed what I have been burning, giving you guys some post-burn updates, just because honestly, the last 2 months, I feel like I have been slammed with a lot of new and trying to get timely post-burn reviews out for all of you guys. And so a lot of that has just taken up, it's taken up a lot of time, but I'm hoping to sit down and film a September candle chat with you guys to share this weekend with you. So if you don't want to miss out on that, make sure you are subscribed to my channel. Let me know in the comment section down below if any of these candles that I shared with you today, or the body scrubs or air fresheners, any of those things, if you've tried any of them, what your burn experience or what your experience with the products have been. I would always be curious to hear. I do want to say thank you so very, very much for spending your time here with me today. And until my next one, I hope you all go out and have a very blessed day. Bye.